I'm gonna give everybody just a few more minutes to join us and then we'll get started. I'm keeping an eye on the admit from the waiting room. Brandy Blackburn could not join us this evening. My name is Angela Baker. I am one of the clinical placement coordinators. I've been working with Brandy for over 2 years now, so I'm also a retired educator myself. So we'll get started in a few more minutes, but I am letting in quite a few people in this final minute or so before we get started. I don't anticipate we will take the whole hour. We'll probably be done in about 30 minutes. So hang tight with me, letting several people in from the waiting room, and we'll get started. I am recording this. We do have at least one person that's going to be unable to attend, so I just wanted to let everybody know that. But we will have lots of time to get started and then to take your questions so that you have the best possible information to get started in your final semester. See lots of smiles with that one. Okay, we'll give it just another minute and then we'll roll with what we've got. I know the weather's getting dicey in some places, so I want to honor everybody's time and get started pretty quick. Okay, I have that it's for 5:32, so I'm going to go ahead and get started.
This is silly. This
Thank-
is silly. You want to know why it's silly?
If, if you
Because
can
you
mute
won't
yourself,
see the sustainable.
everyone can mute themselves.
But
We'll
you'll
get
get
started.
here. Hmm.
So at the moment, she was very helpful. I don't she was very helpful. I heard, I in the party. In the party.
Okay, I can't find who that person is to get them muted. There it is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I've already started sharing my screen, and so I will go ahead and get started. Welcome to the evening orientation for CED 896 and 897. We are about to go across the finishing line for some of you. Most of you, everybody, I'm assuming, is getting ready to start that finish line, and it'll be here before you know it. May will be here, and you'll be like, "Woo, where did it go?" So you are looking at for this semester 6 observations. Your district mentor will do 2 observations. They should be, timed apart so that they're not back to back, so there's time to take any feedback and they can see growth. The same is true for your university mentor or your clinical educator. They will be doing 4 observations. I know I talked to some clinical educators yesterday in our meeting, and some were already going out to do observations. I don't know if any of you were one of them, but I know with you all being already in the classroom, it's nice while the weather is not horrible to go ahead and get those in before snow days hit. So you are probably going to see the same lesson plan that you've been seeing for a few semesters now. Let me go back. I did not mean to do that. Sorry. So you'll do that same lesson plan template. As always, it will be due 2 full business days to your university mentor or clinical educator. And if it's for your district mentor, you will get that to them 2 days in advance. After the observation, you have 3 days post-observation to get that reflection. Everything now is entered into SLL and is linked in Canvas to make sure that everybody gets everything turned in where it belongs. Those links are in Canvas and they're as assignments now. So make sure that that's where you're submitting them. One of the first things that you'll see when they finally let us open the Canvas courses next Tuesday is you will see a welcome and it will give you a list of people to contact if you're having issues. So please be aware of that. And no, besides your clinical educator here at EKU, there are other people you can contact for support and help. If there's any questions about any of this, please unmute and ask them now. Try to do that with the end of each slide.
Is this all the same if we're doing option 6 or student teaching?
Yep, it's all the same.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, if you're taking the CED 896, 897 course, this is what is your requirements. Yeah.
When can we expect our university mentor to reach out? Because it's a different one than I've had in the past, and I just have her name, and that's
Who's
all I have.
who's your clinical educator?
You would ask that. Um, I want to say her name is Danielle, maybe?
Danielle Blankenship. She will probably be reaching out to tomorrow or the next day.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, perfect.
we met yesterday, and yeah, a lot of them were ready to. We had some new updates we wanted them to hang on to before they started meeting and telling people things that we were maybe getting ready to change. So, yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes. All right, great. Any other questions?
Yes. Can we select or not select but pick our university mentor,
You do not pick your university mentor. Those are assigned by Brandy Blackburn.
Brandy Barkman?
Yeah,
Okay.
she assigns those. Yes. We have people who have certain areas that they want to be able to travel in. And so she does a little bit of that, a little bit from experience. And then sometimes, based upon what they've taught before and things like that. Like I'm a retired high school English teacher. So I frequently get high school and especially English history and that type of thing. So a lot of things are taken consideration as she pairs you.
Okay. I was just asking because the professor who come and see my other clinicals, well, I think he has that the same route to go through all the students. So I was wondering if it's gonna be the same one. So I don't
I,
know.
yeah, I don't know. Brandy does those placements, so
Okay.
she'll be getting those out to you soon if you haven't already received it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right,
Quick,
go
quick
ahead.
question. Sorry.
Yeah,
I know I'm not showing you my face, and I apologize for
that's
that.
fine. I'm not
Um,
showing you my face either.
is there a is there wiggle room for a grace period? I mean, I
For
hate to
what?
throw it at you, but I'm teaching in a very chaotic situation, and that sometimes I just plain forget things.
Okay,
Um,
Kim, how about will you stay on afterwards and you and I will talk?
okay.
All right, great. Anyone else? All right. So other than just I thought I heard somebody. Nope. Okay. So the other thing that I want to move to now is the unit plan. So this is going to be new to you. This is for the student teaching semester. And so all of these will be available in Canvas, which will open next Tuesday. And so a unit plan, it has a flexible duration. Typically, I think most of us say try to make it at least 5 days, especially if you're elementary school. Sometimes they do a Monday through Thursday teaching test on Friday, a couple weeks. So you don't want to go into something that's forever long because you have to do, lesson plans. You have to do at least a minimum of three. At least one of those days that you're in that unit plan, you will create a lesson for your university mentor or clinical educator to come and observe. So you will submit those 3 days before the first day of the unit. You'll work with your district mentor to work out exactly when that is. Each school system plans their curriculum a little differently. So we don't want to say you have to do it in March or you have to do it in February. We want you to work so that it fits in with the curriculum maps and the things that your district have you doing. But you will create that 3 lesson plans. You'll do post-observation reflections for the lesson plans. And again, one of those has to be observed by your clinical educator. You will also do a solo week template. Of course, all of you are doing solo weeks. If you're already teaching all the courses and you're the teacher of record, of course you're doing a solo week, but there's an actual template that you'll find. And that template has you do, it's kind of like a brief overview with your learning task and assessments for every prep for 5 consecutive days. So if, there was no school on Monday, then you would have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, 5 consecutive days of what you're teaching for every prep. You will submit that 3 or more days before the first day of your teaching the solo week template. Any questions about that?
I have a question. So I teach all three middle grades, sixth, seventh, and eighth.
Yes.
Do I have to, can I submit it for one grade level or do I have to submit it for all three? Because I teach all three every day.
It's for every prep you teach in a day, but it's just for 5 days. It's not everything. It's a skeletal plan.
Okay.
Y'all are really young. I am not as young as you all, but I can remember going into my sister was an elementary teacher. I was high school. And so they had these little lesson plan books, and it would just simply tell them their schedule throughout the day. And it would be, here's my assessment, here's the worksheet we're working on, here's my objectives for the day. And it would be just, every period of the day or every block of the day.
Okay. So, but I have 6 periods, but 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8. So just for each grade level.
Yep. You'll do it for everything you teach on 5 days in a row.
Cool. Thank you.
It's skeletal. I understand. I was a high school teacher. I said sometimes had 3 and 4 preps. So I feel you, but it's really skeletal. When you see how minimal work that you have to do, you'll understand. It's almost like what you would think of leaving as a good sub plan for 5 days. And I saw Erin go, yes, she understands. So maybe that's how I should have attacked this. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, it was going to be my question. I was just going to say I was going to ask something very similar to that, because where I teach ninth and 10th grades.
Yep.
And I have an honors class in that as well, but it
Yep.
is just it's also a ninth grade class.
Yep.
So I was
I feel you. I understand. I was a high school teacher. I did the same thing. It's every class you teach during the day for 5 days. I promise you, it's skeletal. It's not a ton. It's just a real simplistic format. It's not asking you to give me like every detail. It's not a full lesson plan. It's just here's what I'm teaching that day. Here's the learning objective. Here's the activity we're doing, and here's the assessment. It's not copies of the assessment. It's like students will take a 5-question quiz. Do you see what I'm saying? It's brief. When it says skeletal, it really means skeletal. It's very typical of what I left for lesson plans for years and years and years. So without having to give me copies of all the documents, because we all know that's where our time goes. Any other questions?
Sorry, just
No,
to
go
make
ahead.
sure. So we're going to make a one lesson plan that is going to be divided for 5 days, like a week.
It's not a lesson
class?
plan. It's a solo week template. Okay. And it's for every class in the day for 5 days, but it's skeletal. It's just the bare bones of what you're teaching for 5 days in a row. It's not a full-blown lesson plan. It's not step by step what you're teaching every
Okay.
day for 5 days. It's not that. It's not a lesson plan. It's a
Okay.
5-day template. I'll try to show you a one at the end. I thought that these were hyperlinked and they're not. So at the end, I'll come back and I'll show them too because I have all these ready to show to you. Okay.
Okay.
But trust me. The other thing that's going to be new to you that maybe you've never even heard of, it's called a Drake video reflection. And so very soon, probably within the next 2 weeks, you will video record yourself. And then there's a reflection document that you'll have access to, and you'll answer a few questions after watching yourself teach. And that reflection you're going to submit to your clinical educator or university mentor. Okay. It's in the first 3 weeks of your semester. Okay. Simple questions. You're just kind of reflecting on what you're saying. The other thing is a professional growth plan. And all of these are templates. All of these are already in Canvas, just waiting to be opened next Tuesday when classes officially start. You will do a self-assessment. It's a document again that you just go through and kind of rate yourself. It helps you identify your growth area. And then that becomes the area that you're going to try to figure out what are some things that you can do. Sometimes it's, reading a book or attending a training or watching other teachers that helps you grow in those identified areas. And so the professional growth plan you will review with your clinical educator, probably your first meeting you have with them. And then after you've had some time to growth, like at midterm or after maybe two observations with the mentor, they'll review it again. And then at the end, before your final evaluation, they'll review it for the final time. And it's that final document that you will actually upload in your work sample along with this direct video reflection. And we're going to talk lots more about this, so just hang with me. Any questions so far? Okay.
All right, Beth, sorry. Quick on the personal or professional growth plan.
Uh-huh.
Um, are these things that have to be contained within the semester itself? Because I am working on and planning and have been accepted into several things that are going to happen over the course of the summer that will improve my work in the coming year.
Yes, it's all done within the semester. You have to submit all these things before your final grade can be submitted. Yes.
Oh, I was wondering if the material in the professional growth plan could be outside of the semester.
No, it cannot.
Thank you.
All right. So in this, you'll have this new entry this year. Besides uploading your lesson plans and your PORs for your observations, you'll have a new entry this year as a student teaching, as it'll be called work sample. And in that work sample, you'll put this unit plan and then those accompanying lesson plans. Remember, a minimum of 3, and they're in your post-observation reflections. You'll have that solo week template that you'll upload, the Drake video reflection, and then that professional growth plan and self-assessment. All of those will be uploaded in your unit plan, and your clinical educator will be reminding you about this stuff and will remind you at the end before they do their final evaluation that all these documents have to be uploaded again into SLL before they can give you your final evaluation. So these documents are not something that are quick. You'll work on them, some of them time and time again. The Drake reflection ties directly into doing this professional growth plan. So these two kind of stand on their own, the unit plan and the solo week template, but these two documents actually, these all go together. Any questions so far?
I have one.
Sure.
Just about, so with submitting, so is it that we are submitting these like several, so is it like work sample, we submit these things, then we go to watermark and so, or is it like through work sample, it's submitting everywhere it needs to go?
Okay, great question. So what's going to happen is that you're going to send these things when they're due, and your clinical educator will tell you that. You'll send them to him or her, right? And then they'll give you feedback. And when they think it's ready for you to submit to your work sample, you will. But work sample won't be completely submitted until all these items have been uploaded. So you might get finished with your unit plan and upload it, but you're still not going to submit yet because everything for your work sample is not there yet. So you'll just hit save. And then maybe you'll do your solo week template, or maybe you'll go ahead and you'll have your direct video reflection done. You'll upload it and save, but you're still not submitting. You won't actually submit the work sample until almost the end of the semester.
Okay. And so when we submit the work sample though, is that what's putting it like on the watermark?
Yes, that's when it'll go in watermark.
Okay.
You'll upload these other things. Like when your clinical educator said, yes, that's done, go ahead and upload it. You'll
Yeah.
upload it and save, but you've got several things to do. And like this last one, it has to go through several iterations before it's ready to actually save and submit. You don't want to have to save it, take it out, resave it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they'll tell you, they'll give you guidance about, they'll say, yep, your unit plan is great. Go ahead and upload that. Your
Okay.
solo template is great. Go ahead and upload that. They'll
Okay.
tell you because they want it to be your best quality work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like I
Yeah.
had to, like go to like 3 tabs and
No,
like
it's the work sample is one entry and you'll just upload
one entry
all
and
of
it,
these
it
things.
does it all for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, you won't be putting it there. You'll be sending it to your CE because you'll be
Yeah.
working with it and talking
Gotcha.
about it. Yeah.
So
Great.
think of this as like a portfolio at the end of the term.
Kinda. Yeah. It's probably the closest thing that you'll have to that. Yes. Anybody else? All right. Moving on. So lots of evaluations to talk about this time. So you'll have a final evaluation from, again, the district mentor, and then of course your EKU person. Both of them will do a final evaluation. Before it was just your EKU clinical educator. Now both will do one at the end of the term. It's a holistic score. It's not an average. It's not how well you've gotten all threes all along. That's your score. It's where they think you are overall as a educator will be their score. And then there's a dispositions. You all been doing those. Now, again, both the EKU district and district mentor both will do one. And this is about your work ethic and your professionalism and things like that. Any questions about any of those? The only thing that's different here now is that your district person is going to be doing one now as well. All right. So to recap,
I'm so
everything,
sorry. I couldn't get it unmuted. I was
oh, you're
trying my
fine.
very best. So currently, my there have been two instances this year where my district mentor has had to be out for medical reasons. Um, I'm just wondering if something like that were to happen and she were unable to fulfill unable to fulfill that requirement for this program, um, would there be somebody else at my school that I could
I'm
go
sure,
to?
yeah, I'm sure your district will take care of that. That's not like that's unheard of, that things come up, in districts all the time. So yeah, if things are coming due and you're starting to feel anxious about them, I suggest then you reach out, to your principal at your school, and let them know, hey, I've got several deadlines. Mr. and Mrs. So and so, I know is going through some issues right now. Would there be somebody else that could step in and take care of these requirements? Yeah, you'll
Okay.
you'll take that up with your building administrator.
Okay, because I did ask about that at the beginning of the school year. They mentioned, I can't remember her exact job title. I believe something along the lines of curriculum supervisor, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Um, she said at that point for the requirements that the school has, she would step in,
yeah.
because my district requires uh, first and second year teachers to have observations as well.
Right,
So
right.
um, she said she would step in for that role. So I'm now that you've said that, I'm sure she would step in for the other things. Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and these type of things occur. Um, educators have a lot on their plate, and it's hard if things happen. Um, but usually somebody has a plan in place. Well, if so and so can't do it, someone else can. Well, there's always good folks in your district office willing to step in and make sure that you all get your requirements, because they need you there. They need you in the classroom. They need you to finish your requirements. So it's all good. So you're going to do 6 observations. Again, you'll have 2 by that district person, and then you'll have 4 by your EKU person. And so the requirement is that that district person, so Casey, you might be aware of this, they want all those done and submitted in SLL by May 1st. So they should have one done by March 2nd. So if you all want to put those dates, and keep in mind that that you've got to have lesson plans created and notify them and make sure that they're going to be there in time to get that lesson in, get it observed, do your POR, and get that submitted before March 2nd. So you can't wait till March 2nd to do the lesson plan and to schedule the observation. I would try to get that schedule. I'd go ahead and try to schedule my first one soon, like beginning of February. I don't like to be under the gun myself. So just be aware that that first one by them needs to be done by March 2nd. And by done, we mean finished in NSLL. And then the last one should be in no later than May 1st. And keeping in mind that they have a disposition and a final evaluation that's also due. So we see that in the next 2 bullets. So May 1st is kind of hey, everything should be finished and uploaded in SLL, and that gives us time to get grades in and things like that. So those are things to be thinking about. So I would be ready in early February to get that first observation by your district person in, and then get that second one done gosh, before any kind of testing starts in your schools, try to get that second one done because people's time gets really thin after that. And that way, then they've just got some additional documents that they don't really need you to do anything else. It's just documents that that district person needs to complete. So then your work sample, they want that completed. So you should be pretty much done with everything by by the end of April. And I'm not talking the last week in April, probably the third week in April. Have everything done, and it's just about getting things polished and getting everything uploaded and in SLL by May 1st. So May 1st is that golden deadline that you should be able to, breathe again. Hey, my life's going to get a little easier now. I got all this stuff done, right? Any questions about this?
I have one.
Sure.
Is there any conflict that you see if one of those observations by the district mentor is also, say, their required observation for, well, frankly, continued employment?
Absolutely not. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember you've got to use that lesson plan template that we request. So if they ask you for something different, then you may have to do two lesson plan. I don't know what your district asks for, but yeah, that's perfectly fine, and I wouldn't blame them from doing that because that's a lot of work, right? So yeah, but you have to give us our lesson plan template. So if they want something different, then you'll have to do maybe a little bit more work there, but still just one observation. Does that help any?
That does. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Brandy's just like me. We believe in working smarter, not harder. So anything time you can get something to do double duty, 100%, let's do that, right? Any questions about these deadlines?
But since you said that, I do have I wanted to double check about the personal growth plan. This year, my school has required one. Would there be any issues using that for sort of like fill in the blanks with what the university wants? But if that makes sense.
I think what you're asking me is if there's other required observations by your district, as long as that person who has signed your contract as your district mentor, again, unless we've got a situation where somebody's having illness or family emergencies, and the district has said we need somebody to fill in. As long as you're giving us our lesson plan template and following all of our rules, there's no problem for these district mandated observations, both for the district to serve also EKU. There's As long as we get our EKU template and our post observation reflection, there's no reason why those can't do double duty.
Well, I was speaking about the personal growth plans.
Oh, again, as long as you use our templates, absolutely. Yeah, it's just we do have to use our EKU templates. So
Right.
I'll be honest with you, the ones that I see using are the exact same ones I use in the districts where I was employed before I retired. They're exactly the same. So I don't, and now that's not true for all districts. I know that for a fact, but yeah, as long as you're using our template and submitting our template, we're fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Canvas. So we had hoped we could get it's ready. I've got the course ready. It's published, but they won't let us open it until next Tuesday. So make sure everything that you're trying to, because I get 1,000 emails. Please share this with me. You have to log in your EKU email account to access documents on any of the EKU sites. Do not send me an email saying, please share with me, and it's your Gmail or your school, angela.baker@mercer.kyschools.us or Madison or whatever. Don't send that to me and ask me to share. We do not share with outside sources. You can only access our documents with your EKU email. Does everybody understand that? We are going to hold fast to responding to you through your EKU student email. So if you ask us a question, we're probably going to respond and send it to your EKU student email. Okay? You know how there's this whole new policy about traceable communication. We don't have a policy about that, but we are trying to follow those guidelines. So please understand that you have to use your EKU student email to access and communicate with anyone at EKU. Any questions about that? Okay. When you get into your Canvas course next Tuesday, you will find your syllabus. I highly recommend that you read it from front to back page. There is a new artificial intelligence policy, and there is a quiz in Canvas that you agree that you have read both the syllabus and the AI policy. You will not get your final grade until you have clicked I agree to that you've read it and you agree. They're all the templates that we've discussed today. All your course materials are in there. I know because I put them there. Make sure that you use that to log into SLL. It's set up a little differently this year. The assignments lead you straight to the page where you need to be, we hope. And there is a whole module with sites for your practice for Praxis. There's a slide on financial resources to pay for things. So make sure you spend some time, and I know you all are extremely busy. I know you are, but please make sure you find some time, maybe on the weekend, find 30 minutes and just kind of go through. I've tried to eliminate as much fluff and other things from your course as I possibly can, and just put things there that you will find useful. So please spend some time looking at those items. Questions? All right. So, in case you have forgotten, your student learning and licensure, SLL, you should have received a code for it from the bookstore, ekubooks@eku.edu. Follow the steps in the email to set up your account. You will log into SLL through Canvas. We highly recommend this. Now, when we say issues, we mean your account is not working. You've tried everything besides standing on your head and it's not working. That's when you contact Kathleen. But that should be after you've had conversations with your clinical educator and said, hey, I'm having such and such trouble. Or we've got new virtual communication this year. It's kind of like you can see everybody's questions and answers. You might go on there and see if you can find the answer to your issue. But Kathleen does not work full time in our office. She's doing this out of the goodness of her heart, pretty much. So she should be contacted as the last resort. I really can't get this thing working. Or the clinical educator says, I have no idea. You're going to have to contact Kathleen. That's when you contact Kathleen, not just because there's something funky going on, but because you can't get it to work. Questions about that?
Is it a new code for this semester?
I don't think it is, but I won't swear to that because we've got a lot of student teachers in our undergrad program that are already in it. So I don't think it is. I'd go ahead and give it a try next Tuesday and see if you can get in with your old code. And then if you can't, look for the email. I don't think that it is, but I won't swear to it because I'm not a student, so I don't know exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, I wish I could answer that one for you. Anyone else? All right. Here's what the state regs say about getting your certification. You must complete 70 days in the classroom. I think you all have got that one handled. You will receive an email during your course that will give you instructions on how to apply for certification within EPSB. Guys, don't sit on this stuff because everybody, I mean, you can imagine what May looks like for people who finish. It is a backlog in EPSB, so get things done early. The PES office cannot make your recommendation for certification until the registrar's office confers degrees. That usually takes 2 weeks following graduation. Usually. You will then request your transcript to be sent to EPSB. Keep that in mind. Give it about 2 weeks. You must, this is so important, guys, because people forget this all the time. You must have also taken and passed your content and PLT praxis exams. Make sure you are instructing ETS to send the scores to EKU, that code 12,000 or 1200 rather, and EPSB 7283, and putting in your social security number when signing up for exams. Make sure all those pieces of information are correct. Again, you have to pass that content class and these practice exam or your content and PLT practice exams. Make sure that you are passing both. Questions?
Is there a way to check to see if our scores, because when I did all my practice, I know I put in the EKU one, and then I think the other one like automatically did it for like the state board or something. So I just don't know, like if I don't remember putting in for EPSB.
That's not a me question. That's our certification person in the office.
Okay.
That is roswell.manning@eku.edu. Roswell,
Okay.
ROSWELL .MANNING, Roswell Manning at eku.edu.
Okay. Thank you.
He is the certification specialist. And I'll be honest with you, usually when you email, you'll get an automatic response that gives you a page of useful things about your certification. It's an automatic reply. So you might be just send an email and saying, I'm just wanting to look at your automatic reply and see if your answer is there.
Okay.
I've done that
Thank you.
before. He's a wealth of information, I'm telling you.
I have a question.
Sure.
So it says there, have taken and passed content and PLT praxis exam. So there are two of them?
Yes, there's two different ones.
Okay, which one is the content?
So I don't know. It depends on what everybody's degree is. That's why I can't specify. So like for me, it was English. So I had to take the English content. I was a high school English teacher. So if you're middle school and you're math and science, you have to pass your math and science. And then
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm Spanish.
Okay. So there you go.
I already have it. I already
Good. Yeah, you can take it. Yeah, before now. I would encourage people to have taken it before now.
Oh, I think I took it last semester, so
Yeah.
it will still work.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you don't have to take it every semester, just once and pass.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other questions? And again, a final reminder, always use your at mymail.eku.edu address and check your student email. Maybe if not every day, maybe every other day, because I know you stay on your school email. I always did, but make sure you're checking that because if there's issues or if your clinical educator needs to get in touch with you, that is the email address they will use. Also, this year especially, always go through the link in Canvas to get to SLL to ensure that you're getting in the right clinical course. That's important. Questions?
I have a question, but I think it probably waits till after the meeting, so I'll just
Okay.
move to it.
So there are financial resources. All of this is in the Canvas course when you get there. There's information about scholarships. There's free praxis preps. That's why I was telling you to make sure you go through all the modules. The very first intro module tells you about our clothing closet and the free clothing that we provide for people to have for clinicals. So if you go through the Canvas course and look at all the modules, you're going to be in great shape and you'll have all this information. Brandy will probably send this PowerPoint out as well, but I'm telling you, next Tuesday, if the following weekend you can spend some time looking at the course, I think you'll find a wealth of resources for you. Here are the emails. Oh, look, there's Roswell's email. These are the important people in your life this semester. I mean, not so much, but definitely Brandy, Dr. April Blakely, who is in charge of our MAT program, and then Roswell Manning, because you're getting ready to have your full certification. Roswell is going to be a very important person in your life. And I'm always here to support you. If you have questions and like me, you know how busy Brandy is, feel free to email me if you're just like, okay, I really need this answer. I only have to take one or two students each semester, and so I'm usually at my laptop and have my email pulled up just about every day. So we're here for you to support you all as you go across the finish line. Questions? Okay. I told you I thought we'd be done in about 30 minutes. So if you don't have any other questions, know that we'll be sending this PowerPoint. Canvas course will open next Tuesday. You'll get a lot of more additional information there. And I'll hang on here because I know there's a couple people that wanted to discuss some additional concerns. So I'll stay on until everybody exits. But have a good rest of your day and let's survive this cold weather coming in. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording because I felt like some of you were going to share issues personal to you. So I'm going to stop the recording. Give me just a second.